up, everybody? About to get this Week 16 game in right now. Week 16, I don't know who it's going to be yet, but the game is loading up. And enjoying myself, like I said, playing this free safety for the 2019 Raiders who have moved to Las Vegas. Last 3 or 4 games have been unreal. And I guess that's what it is, you know, when you play a game. But in 3 games, I came out with 12 interceptions somehow, and I've now officially broken the record for most interceptions in one season. The Raiders are 14-1 as of right now, and you know, all Madden just can't, you know, you can't seem to mess with me right now. We've only had one bad, terrible game against the Bears, and we got drubbed by 30 points. But every other game has been, you know, pretty easy. I'm sorry, 13-1. It's week, yeah, 13-1, 16. All right, so yeah. Anyway, right now we're just gonna get this game started, enjoy ourselves, see the return of the Raiders. Raiders is game number 7 at home, I think. Let's see. Thanks for watching. Update on the Raiders beating the Steelers. Article says that Ben Roethlisberger blames Raiders medical equipment for the late return back to the game, while his coach is stating that Dobbs was the reason why Big Ben did not return, because he didn't want to mess with his flow, which is hilarious, of course. We know about the poor field conditions, and I'll give you about 20% of an excuse for that loss, but at the same time, the Raiders have to play on that field as well. You had a lead at halftime. The Raiders are 2-10. You were in playoff contention, so there's no excuse for these Steelers. But these stories keep on coming out.
A great matchup between
anyway,
the Green Bay Packers
Raiders
and the Oakland Raiders.
Packers.
I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and our home team. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here in
Conley Island.
They've been flawless these
you ain't getting 139 today, Mr. Macklin.
And that's the kind of streak you don't see too often in today's NFL, since there's so much parity. So the way they've played has been truly remarkable.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers,
I definitely can't wait to get me, you know, like an Elgato streaming system. I have a bunch of sound bites that I plan on having when it comes to my future streams. My goal is to give the Raider experience when it comes to sound bites. I'm hoping I can get some bites from you know, from some Raider traditionalists that we can use in game for when they get their first downs and their touchdowns. So look for that in the future when it comes to any of my future streams.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. The numbers on the ground for Jones last week. 16 carries, 58 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on him. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field.
I think Hurst came in early, if I'm not mistaken.
Don't they? Next man up.
No excuses.
Nope,
Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well.
Conley Island again. What I tell y'all? Don't throw his way. It's like pick number 9 this season. He better get the Pro Bowl nod, too.
When you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
The Raiders offense now, they trot back out.
The Raiders jump out right away, get that 3 points. 20 yards back. The Raider defense.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams.
These rookies are actually hitters. It's pretty amazing. 53 got the smallest head in the NFL, which is hilarious to me. Look at this guy
It
here.
all came together
Small
there
head.
in breaking
But
route.
he's a
Drew it
hitter.
with excellent
So,
pace. Money throw
gotcha,
right
man.
there to move the
All out.
sticks.
They go play action here on first down. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion.
That's
And
accuracy
able to
right
rip
there.
off a
Can't
big
hate on
chunk
it.
of yardage before being
Aaron
dropped
Rodgers about
inside
to
the
get hit
40.
right now, though.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Rodgers now on first down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 12 more yards there and another first down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
Circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Rodgers now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, it's Jones. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets them to 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw, it's Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. 3rd and 4, he did just enough, and I mean just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And that is incomplete.
Almost got the pick, man.
Ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now it's Chris Boswell on for the field goal try. And And Boswell's kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3.
I have no idea what the
together a
playoff
good
picture
little
is really
drive
looking
there,
like.
but
I know we
ultimately
got the
stalling out in
#1
the red
seed
zone.
if we
Yeah,
win
I know
this
a lot
game
of
for
people
sure.
look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it. Right?
Browns are the #2 seed. They got like 11-2 right now. So it's a pretty weird season, but after that I have no idea what's really going on in the AFC. Send Carl Joseph off on the edge.
Now a play fake here on first down. Looking deep for Adams. It's caught inside the 25.
Wow.
A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 66
Arizona's
yards.
8-6. Seattle's got 11 wins, 10 wins.
Right there. And partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this.
All right, so I see what you got. You're talking about I-form is coming.
Nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Now it's Rodgers.
There you go.
Now Rodgers lost the
Run.
football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will take over at the
1 in
26-yard
turnovers
line.
this season.
So the coach
One can only hope in real life the Raiders defense turns it around, but
former defender in
Worley's
this league,
coming
Elon
up.
Zips.
We're going to get to see another full season of Mickey Nelson in the slot. Or my personal favorite, I think he's going to be big enough to play safety next year, which could save a draft pick. What's that? Who's the other guy? Rashawn Melvin.
The Raider offense
You know, hopefully he gets re-signed one more year. If he doesn't lose any speed, I think he's almost 29 or 30.
They've clinched the division title. The question,
Patriots
can
are
they
in it.
hold on?
Jaguars are in it. DC.
The Packer
Drive.
offense now ready to get back
We
on
lost
the
Chris
field.
Warren last week. He says he's out
And
for
last time,
43
not only the turnover,
43
but that
weeks.
turned into
And
6
this dude
points. They
had
got to make up for that here.
it's like 4 yards of carry.
But some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes.
He was getting
momentum.
4.4
When they
yards
take
of
it
carry,
down,
but he had
punch it down.
17 touchdowns.
That's
Chris
a bad
Warren is going to
possession
be
all the
a
way
monster
around.
for the
Hungry to
Raiders
get
in
back out there, aren't
2019.
you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On first down, Rodgers. And Garrett Selleck here on the completion.
Nothing deep.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back in the 40. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Biggest difference for me this year is that I normally, when I play safety or cornerback, I be trying to go after the quarterback and get sacks, but I legit stayed in coverage as I was supposed to, and it's
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. He's got his targets Cobb.
he's been hitting on this on that 10-yard end all game.
2 shy of the 40. Third catch in this first half for him, and this one is a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows
Right
it
now,
there
I'm about
on
to try
third
to
down. Very
bust through.
proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being.
It's always
in the
fun to
right
hit
spot.
Aaron Rodgers, and I
And
thought
they
about
connected
it.
there and picked
So.
up a first down.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Giving up the outside for an all-out blitz.
Now Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. It's Adams. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop it with a good head of steam going.
So we got 3 on 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Just keep
So
on
much
blitzing.
about
Don't give them a
offense is
chance
what
to
you
go
call
deep.
hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
Holding.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game.
the Packers offense now. They get ready to head back onto the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Rodgers now to throw. And
Good
he'll
defense,
get it up
Carl.
near the 35, right at the 34 here. Only a yard there. Sniffed
One
out
more
well
year of Carl
defensively,
Joseph,
and
I
it
think
brings
we're going
up
to see the
third.
best of him.
So many things
No
have
more
to come
injury
together
excuses,
just
no more
right for a
news. We're
screen
going to get a
pass
chance
to
to
break for
play,
big yardage.
entertain.
The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
That was the
Slips
10-yard
up past
hook
the 45 before being tackled.
instead of the C route.
Rodgers now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line.
Like this big old dude
Just a
talking
yard
trash,
on the
man.
first
Let's
down
go.
carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
And this will be taken across
Very
midfield
slow-paced
into
game.
Raider
You know?
territory.
Not a lot of points being scored right now. He's not taking any risks. Except for the first play against Gary
When you
Allen.
have a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Now
Gary will be on it.
down there, but he cannot connect. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And now here come the Raiders. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to
Cox
this?
Communications ain't even call me back, man. Terrible customer service. There you go, DC. We got 3. We're stable.
Here we go. 58.
And with time running
Great
short
first
here,
half.
they'll simply take a knee,
13-6
and that should
Raiders
do
at
it for
home
half
in Las
number one.
Vegas.
So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top. As
What's
now
up?
we send you out
Go
to
ahead, man.
Orlando
You
and hook
want me
back
to
up
sub?
with Jonathan Coachman for our
What'd you
EA
say?
Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be
Let me
cold,
open up
but
my
the
app and see what
playoff
you got to
races
say.
are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started out in Denver, and it's the Broncos who have the lead in the second quarter. Emmanuel Sanders, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll make the trek east to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Matt Ryan, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Lastly, we head to the City of Angels to check on the Rams at home in L.A. And that game is tied as they take on the visiting 49ers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
What you got to say? We can play together in the YouTuber also. You want me to sub?
Yeah, man, you talking about playing squads?
Yes.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. As of right now, I got a dual schedule, so I'm either West Coast time. I'm working 8:30 to 11:30 a.m. to 8:30, And then I usually play all night, or I'm working 4 a.m. to 1, so I can have, you know, the whole day to play and then also spend time with my little girl. So it's just a matter of setting it up at that time. Send me up a request, friend request, and we can get that set up. Do you play 2K? So I'm also working on setting up a Pro AM squad as well.
Rodgers now on first down. And bringing it in, this is Sonic over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
I do point guard, and
well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here.
I call him Middle General, 5'11", pure sharpshooter, and I also got a shot creator defender.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third.
I'm on 19 right now, though.
I play 18, 2K.
I've actually retired that game. Now, if he's in the same city, we can get a stream going, because normally we used to play squads with 5 controllers on one TV, and that's how we normally play. But I don't know if we can do that on mine. Fumbling.
And he'll get nothing out of that one.
I got my dude looking goofy as hell on the screen.
That's going to leave him with a 4th down.
I didn't even notice that Derek Carr scored, so I appreciate your luck here. 20-6, Green Bay is down.
I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
Yeah, but I'm definitely down for Madden, though. You know, it's always good to get to play consistently with somebody, and I haven't actually had a chance to play squads this year. And I heard you can do co-op squads, you don't have to have 3 people, which makes it more fun.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. Just cut it. Right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points.
Are you a random follower? Are you a Raider fan from one of the Facebook groups that I was posting in? What's going on?
Casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
I'm getting this pick. Throw it.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And this is Sonic here with the ground. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets in.
Look, we scored again, 27-6. I'm telling you, Derek Carr is going to be back in 2019. As we can see right now, his last 8 games in real life, Derek Carr has not thrown a pick, and he's been extremely efficient. So look for that to continue next year. Do it.
For an easy completion and a first down.
And he's got the hook up for the first time with a veteran, Jeremy Maclin.
I'm going to get me a pick today.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make
Judy Rand, is that going to be your PSN ID as well?
Where he releases from,
Look at Vanderbilt.
into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots.
Yeah, babe, I'm at home.
Let's go, come on.
12-18. I can get one more game in, too. Week 17.
Again, it's Jones.
You don't want it with this Raider defense right now, though.
On the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely.
I don't know what my lady talking about. She's talking about she outside. She ain't, I mean, right out the window, she is not. So anyway.
Upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting.
All I want is that one pick right now. I'm just trying to get that pick. I want 22 in on the season. 5 targets to Randall Cobb. Do it again then if you're so confident. Throw it to Cobb.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He gets it over the middle.
Come on, man.
And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
I actually have not played Madden, like legit.
Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out.
I haven't played Madden too much. I started playing in
that catch good for 5.
I started playing
One thing I think that's safe to say
at the
defensively,
beginnings. I thought I was going to be
really
competing hardcore with it, but it just didn't work out with having a child. And I did consider playing the Superstar mode like I am now, but that camera was messed up. And I just recently saw that this recent update fixed the camera, and that's why I'm back on right now.
It'll be a pickup of just 2,
I'm having fun again on Madden because everything else has been pretty trash from the game. Just keep on the Cobb. Keep on the Cobb. That's all he's doing. You don't want to throw the other way. Everybody's getting drugged. 33-6. What you got?
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
Factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
It's a shame. He's 20 for 26, 200 yards, but he cannot do anything.
That's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way.
I was trying to see what Derek Carr's stats was. I'm assuming they're good, because it seems like every time they've either got the field goal or the touchdown, except for that drive. That's what I get for calling it out. But 33-6. It looks like we're set up pretty decent in the playoffs unless Madden takes over.
Now Rodgers on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
First time Minnesota Cobb.
A pretty good game before he's
Denver,
taken
Indianapolis.
down.
Game does not matter.
Pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Time for a break.
Like I said, if you do subscribe today, Mr. Rand, I appreciate it, because like I said, I got 8 subscribers right now. Small stream. My microphone is terrible, but everybody's got to start somewhere, and I'm glad that I got me a little PlayStation camera or whatever it may be.
As we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as
a Raider fan, that's a plus, because I love my people.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will.
Broke his shoulder.
Packer on the field. Not something you want to see in week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we don't want to see that unless it's a Raider doing it.
So
need some more
1st and
sacks
10
on
now
A-Rod.
from the 30.
Cornerback blitz.
Here's Rodgers on 1st.
Oh, there's my pick. He gave one to me. Oh my gosh, I waited on the double move and he still got it by me.
It's a big play there for Green Bay.
Lord.
And even 40 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves.
Joey Nick Bosa, excuse me.
Now you got to
Keep the
hustle your
pressure
guys
up.
to the line and get them set.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation.
He's going to get sacked again. I'm telling everybody. Let's go.
He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the
There you go. Favorite time of the game is garbage time.
To talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half.
I assume the torch is going to be up there somewhere when it comes to the stadium.
And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaunt alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout. And now we're set to get going. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on third and long. Rodgers going to throw. And he's got his man. That's Macklin. And he's brought down.
You're trying to make my adjustments and tossing it up early. Do it again,
They're able
though.
to convert on
Please.
third
Please
down,
do
and
it
that
again.
sets up a
Everybody
first and goal.
inside.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that. That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But
Nick Bosa with 2 sacks. Nick Nelson with the
the amount of
assist.
sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to
No
stop the
touchdowns.
clock. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Shotgun now for Rodgers.
There it is. Melvin. All your block, bro.
I'm not sure, Brandon.
That's how you keep him out the end zone. No touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. Time to retire. 2 field goals allowed.
Whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to
Man
winning
with
or
foul was
losing.
blocked, though.
But I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They have the dream scenario.
All game.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that.
So let's see what we got here. It is 1:27, 12:27 West Coast time. I can get one more game in. It's usually going to be around 30 minutes at 12-minute quarters. So we're going to go out and play week 17. I'm going to start my stream over just so I get these little 30-minute blocks, add videos to the YouTube page. But I definitely appreciate you talking with me today. If you haven't sent over that friend request yet, make sure you do so we can get this squads going in if you're still online.
They will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaunt. You've been watching the NFL
1
on EA
touchdown,
Sports.
293 yards, 25 for 40. Kind of terrible. Still had a better rating than A-Rod with his 2 interceptions. That is a surprise. Rashard, 117 yards, 4 yards a carry. He's actually doing what's his name? What Warren III was doing. So that's actually positive to hear. Those 2 guys right there, that's even better. I haven't seen them produce all season, yet we're getting that production. This is the guy that we need. He's our superstar slot corner. So we just simply need him to produce. Oh, and I just think I got my bonus time here. Hold on. Let's go ahead and use it. Might get a chance to get a playoff game in today. Let's try. But yeah, Marquise Brown is a superstar slot. 5'11", he's got 95 or 96 speed, which is awesome. Let's see, 130 to 3 is available. So Let's see what we can get here. Anyway, thanks again for watching my stream. I'll be streaming up again in just a few moments, and I thank you very much for all of you for giving me any kind of support whatsoever.